Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this. From the New York Post. Governor Cuomo, Trump had better have an army to protect him if he comes to New York City. What? What did I actually just read? Had better have an army, Is he actually threatening the president? Are you fucking kidding me? Nah. That can't be true. I'm gonna read this, but no, it can't be like that. It can't be true. It can't possibly mean that. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo on Wednesday all but threatened President Trump's safety if he returns to New York City in a rant responding to an exclusive story by the Post that Trump is looking to pull federal funds from lawless city, including New York. Hey, Andrew Cuomo, don't worry. It's nothing. It's not defunding. It's not defunding your city or your state. It's nothing like that. Don't worry. It's just think of it as a forceful reallocation of funds to other departments or states. Nothing that. It's kind of like what you're doing with the police officers and the police force in New York. Don't worry, it's just a forceful reallocation of funds. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Cuomo called an emergency press briefing within a half an hour on Wednesday night to tear into Trump for the order, which cites New York's rising murder rate and defunding of the NYPD. Like I said, it's not defunding, it's just a forceful reallocation of funds to other states. I don't care. His face sounds like he's actually farting, but hey, okay. He better have an army if he thinks he's gonna walk down the street in New York. New Yorkers don't want to have anything to do with him, the Democrat said, all but threatening the commander-in-chief. I think that was a threat. But Cuomo, who like Trump, hails from Queens, wasn't done. He can't even have enough bodyguards to walk through New York City. People don't want to have anything to do with him. Dude, Trump is so fucking awesome that I would actually really love to even have a handshake with him. Dude, I'll probably hug him. And I wish he was my president. Anyway, back to the news. On Substance, Cuomo said it doubted the legality of Trump's 5-page memo ordering a review of federal funds that can be redirected from New York City, Portland, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. It is more of the same from him. It's political, it's gratuitous. Gratuitous? And it's illegal, but it is another attempt to kill New York City, Cuomo said. I have a very slight feeling that he's not doing that. Don't worry, you are. Including your little buddy, your little minion called DiAngelo, already killing New York. What? What? You're not gonna take credit for your work? You're gonna blame Trump for your work? Is that it? Oh. Let's read. President Ford said, drop dead. President Trump has actively trying to kill New York City since he's been elected, he said. Bullshit. That's all on you, Andrew Cuomo. All on DiAngelo. Cuomo? In highly personal and insulting language, Cuomo speculated that Trump wasn't upset about New York's soaring murder rate and shootings. Based on what we have seen from Trump, from what he has been doing for the American people and worldwide, I'm pretty sure 100%, and I'm willing to bet both of my legs and a kidney, that Trump actually cares about this. And he cares about the people, and cares about the American people, especially those even living in the city he actually loves, which is New York City. And you are just making shit up, Cuomo. So yes, I'll bet both of my legs and my kidney that Trump does actually care. Really. It does. I think it's because he's from New York City, and New York City rejected him. Bullshit. Always. Cuomo said he was dismissed as a clown in New York City for those who know him best, like him least. No, based on the history of Trump, on what he has done to the city, I don't think this is actually kind of true. But let's move on. Cuomo jeered he was disrespected in New York City, nobody took him seriously, and he was just a tabloid cartoon. Referring to a claim in a recent book by Trump's niece, Mary Trump, Cuomo said his sister, a former federal judge, is disgraced by him. Oh, right, you never had sibling conflict, right? I'm pretty sure everybody has had sibling conflict. For instance, I have a sibling who is absolutely fucking retarded. He actually thinks that socialism and communism is the best all-around choice. He's so retarded that, well, we just treat him with this very big, large stick, so we don't get too close, so we don't get infected by retardedness. But we still kind of just say, we just communicate him just so we are polite. But overall, everybody hates him. Are you going to tell me that you never had that problem with your family? Is that you admitting that you are better than everybody else? Figures. Alright, back to the news. He said, okay, the governor also claimed Trump's negligence is the reason New York State suffered the highest. Oh, you go fucking kidding me. No, New York suffered not because of his negligence. He even sent a Navy ship there to aid all the people who suffered from the Wuhan virus. In fact, the people who suffered in New York, it's because of you. You demanded that Rhode Island open their borders to New Yorkers. You put sick elderly and sick people in nursing homes. You idiot, you did all of that. In fact, even your crew and your own people who follows you even said that people should celebrate the Chinese New Year, to actually ignore everything and even Trump's closure of the borders to China. That's all on you. Apparently, you Democrats have a very tiny little memory. Are you Dora? No. What's the name of that fish that always forgets and it's part of Disney's cadre? No? Of course. The government also claimed through negligence. The governor's critics blame his health department mandate that forbids nursing homes from turning away Wuhan virus positive patients, potentially leading to at least 6,500 deaths. At the end of his call, Cuomo, apparently sensing how his remarks about Trump could be seen as threatening, attempted to walk them back. Of course, but what you just did here is threaten the president of the US of A. My comment about the president and the bodyguards in New York City, all I'm saying is that he's a persona non grata in New York City. I doubt it. And I think he knows that, and he'll never come back to New York, because New Yorkers will never forget how he graciously mean he has been to the New Yorkers, and how many times he's tried to kill the city that gave him his start and bettered him. That's what I meant about the bodyguards. Are you insane? Do you actually even understand the words that come out of your mouth? You insane little... On Wednesday, Trump called on CNN to fire Cuomo's younger brother, Chris Cuomo, over a leaked tape in which he says he was questioned about sexual misconduct. Fredo must go, Trump wrote, using an insulting reference from The Godfather. Meanwhile, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, who has a very, very large crew following him and his wife, but apparently he cannot afford to keep the city up, or even fire some of the staff on him to fund or give the money to the people who work for New York, city workers, but apparently that's beyond him. back to the news. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, who was twice mentioned by name in Trump's order, had his press secretary Bill Neidhart respond. As much as Donald Trump wants New York City to drop dead, no, he doesn't. I'm sorry, he does not. UTDS is showing. We will never let this stand. I'll bet both of my legs and kidney that Trump absolutely loves that city and every American in there. Neidhart tweeted, "This has nothing to do with law and order. This is a racist campaign stunt out of the Oval Office to attack millions of people." I hate when they use this, because even so, Latino they actually classify as people of color. But this word brings reminiscences from the 50s, in which they switched the position and it said colored people. It's just, well, it just changes the position of the word and change one O and one F to one E and one D. And you pretty much have the same thing. I hate this reference. I hate it. De Blasio himself made no statement, of course. Meanwhile, City Councilman Rory Lunkman, chair of the Committee on the Justice System, said Trump's order could unintentionally weaken public safety. Wait, more than he already has because of your defunding? Is that it? I guess we know now which candidate for the president supports defunding the police, he quipped. Representative Max Rose, a Trump-targeted Democrat who represents Staten Island and Southern Brooklyn, said, "With this order, President Trump is joining Mayor Bill de Blasio in defunding the police. It was wrong then, it is, and it is wrong now." Well, get your shit together, get these people out, and make them suffer the consequences of their bad actions with your vote. Never violence. Because violence does not and will never ever bring permanent change, only peacefulness. Thank you for watching, see you in my next video, and what in the actual fuck? Threatening the president? Is he insane? Good night!